Welcome, beauties. I want to talk to you about timeline jumping today. You have probably heard this thrown around a bit, particularly in the manifestation world. And I want to try and break it down for you so that it feels more digestible, a little more palatable, and also to help you navigate it. What we do when we're in between, when we sense that maybe we've jumped a timeline, but we're actually seeing no evidence or reflection of that in our physical reality. And I don't think that this is spoken to enough. So I want to dive into that today. Before I do, I would love it if you could subscribe to the channel so you can stay updated with the videos as they come through. I channel from my heart and from my soul wisdom, and it is all designed to help you to align with your highest frequency and to manifest a life of abundance with ease. So let's dive into this topic of timeline jumping because I think it is also fascinating, but it is a bit for us to wrap our conscious mind around. And so hopefully in the words that I'm bringing in and bringing through this transmission, you can connect with it in a felt sense. So it's beyond the logical reasoning because really there's no place for that in this conversation. But I will weave in the science of it because I think that is important. And so I operate both in the spiritual as well as the scientific. And I love that merging of the two, or that marriage of the two. All right. So timeline jumping, essentially, it's a process of shifting your reality by aligning with a new energetic frequency. So it's essentially stepping into a version of yourself, let's say an evolved version of yourself that already exists on a different trajectory. Now, this is where it can be a bit to wrap our head around. Every possibility, every version of you living out your soul desires exists already as a potential in the quantum field. The quantum field is like the universe or source energy or the unlimited vast potential field, however you want to refer to it, God energy. So every possible version of you already exists as a potential in that field. The timeline that you experience, though, is based on your core vibration or your dominant frequency. Now, this is made up of what you think, what you feel, what you believe, and how you act. That is what creates your most dominant frequency. So when you consciously shift your reality, or when you consciously shift your internal state to embody the version of you who already has what you desire, you are essentially jumping into a new timeline, or you are anchoring in a new potential in the field. You're aligning your energy with that potential so you become a vibrational match. Remember, we are vibrational beings. We are giving off a frequency at all times, and so is everything that exists. So is every desire and every potential. So in order to draw into your physical reality, attract or magnetize certain desires, certain potential, we need to first become a vibrational match for that by shifting our dominant frequency, by those things that I said: thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and actions. When you embody the energy, the mindset, and the decisions of your desired self now, that's when you can jump timelines. What's important, though, to know in this process is that there's always this lag behind. Your external reality is going to lag behind your energetic reality. So your physical reality will lag behind your energetic reality. And this is because your physical reality takes time. It literally takes time because time is a construct of the three-dimensional reality. So it takes time to reorganize life experiences to reflect the new frequency that you can feel that you are tapped into. So the three-dimensional reality takes time to catch up with the jumped timeline, which exists beyond the 3D. Once we go beyond the third and the fourth dimension, time no longer exists. So we're essentially manifesting in the now vibration. All there is now. And that's why manifestation can happen instantly. And you might be feeling that, like, I feel like I've moved beyond this. I feel like I'm in this new reality, but I'm looking around me and I'm not seeing the shift. I'm not seeing any proof. I'm not seeing any evidence of that reality. And this is what I want to speak about today. So, when you're in this in between, and many of you will be experiencing this, you sense you've dumped that timeline, you've landed vibrationally into the version of you who is living this new reality, whatever that is, but you're just not seeing the evidence of that. What is really important in this process is that you are not in the energy of need, of waiting, and of looking around. Because when we're doing that, what we are reinforcing is our current reality rather than the new frequency, rather than the new reality. And when we do that, we get pulled back into a current timeline or an old timeline. So it's really important when this happens, if you are in this space, that you stay deeply anchored into trust and into a knowing that it's already done. And you continue to live the shift. You continue to live as if you're living on that timeline, as if it's already done. You might have heard through the Neville Goddard teachings, like live from the end state, embody the feeling and the knowing of that desired reality, of your wish already fulfilled. But the waiting and the seeking of the evidence too soon before giving space, and when I'm saying space, also space and time for your manifestation to arrive, can pull you back into the old and the familiar. And there's another added element here. The ego wants to keep us safe. And it does that by wanting to pull us back into what's known and familiar. It doesn't like us moving and expanding and going to a new reality because it considers that new reality unfamiliar and therefore unsafe. So what are the ways that the ego mind is going to try and pull you back? It's through the doubts. It's through bringing up self-doubt, fear, resistance, sabotage tendencies, self-sabotage, all these things to try and pull you back into the current known familiar timeline. So know that the mind is doing its job to try and pull you back into the old. So what do? The key is to stay steady, to keep your heart open. Notice when you're going into contraction, see that for what it is, as the old pulling you back, and choose instead expansion. Choose to open your heart. Choose to regulate your nervous system to go, no, it's safe for me to exist in this reality. It's safe for me to call in this level of abundance. It's safe for me to receive the desires that are on my heart. It's safe for me to be in this new relationship. Like whatever is the reality, whatever is the desired reality that you are choosing to embody, keep coming back to that and staying in the feeling of that. Act as the version of you where it is already done. That might mean choosing different thoughts. That might mean releasing old habitual patterns that keep you in the old and choosing to change that up a little bit, doing something different that the new version of you would do, not the old past version, right? This is something that we can do when we're in this in between. The other key thing is stop looking for the evidence. Stop looking for the proof. When we're doing that, we're not in trust. We're in doubt, right? You've got to imagine when you are living that new version of you, when you are living that reality, you are not in doubt. You're not questioning it at all. And a way to prove this is think about you 10 years ago, the you that's living that reality now. That would have been a dream 10 years ago, right? So the you that's living that reality now is the future you from your 10 years ago self. Are you looking at your current reality that you're in right now, doubting it, questioning it, going, is this real? No, you're living it because it's normal for you. So, can you normalize rather than putting our dreams, goals, and hopes on a pedestal? What actually happens if you normalize the feeling, if you normalize the experience of being in this new reality? So, the old reality may show up as an echo of the past, as a shadow of the past, but it's no longer your alignment. So, when you keep anchored in your reality, the reality that's chosen, then the current physical reality has no choice but to catch up because that is law. When we shift ourselves vibrationally to a new plane and we embody that and we live as that version, it is law, it is guaranteed that reality will shift up to match that. And this is where we really need to trust in universal timing or divine timing, or as I like to say, God's time. How much can you trust in the divine unfolding of the universe, of God's plan? Because the how and the when is not your business, but the feeling and the vibration and your inner alignment is completely your business. That is your job. That's what you're being asked to stay in the vibration of, to anchor into. So that is your role, and that's where your role ends. It doesn't then leak into control or looking for the evidence or looking for the proof. You're just in the flow and in the beautiful knowing that it is done. So I hope that this helps. Let me know in the comments if you are in that in between. And the other thing that I want to say, which I've noticed in my own world, is when you are embodying this new version of you, when you feel like, I feel like I'm there. Yeah, I might not see the evidence, but I feel like I'm there. You are likely going to be asked to do things that new identity, that evolved you would do. Maybe that means going out and buying some new clothes. Maybe that means going and booking a holiday, even though, and this is where we really need to anchor and trust, even though you might be in a space of a little bit of fear and doubt because perhaps you're not quite there, you're not seeing the evidence to be able to do that, but you need to trust. You can trust. And this is, I feel like, what your higher self is wanting you to know is you can trust your inner alignment. You can trust the feeling sense, and you can trust that your desires, your precious, beautiful soul desires, are there to lead you, and they are not going to lead you astray. They're like a gift from God. They're guidance from your higher self. And so letting yourself dance with your desires, letting yourself live as if you are already experiencing and living that reality of everything that you might seek, that is when magic happens. That is when miracles happen. And I feel like 2025 and beyond, like we are moving closer to the age of miracles where these things can happen instantly. And the quicker that you can stay, the more that you can stay aligned each day in that place of faith, trust, and knowing, the quicker the shift's going to be, the quicker you're actually going to see your physical reality catch up to match that vibration of you. I hope this helps. I love you so much. Go well and let me know how you are navigating this journey.